And the first question, I guess, is the series really offers a powerful reflection on how fiction can be a refugee from reality.
Mm.
Um, do you think reality? Do you think fiction gets us away from reality, or gets us closer to it?
Well, you bring up something kind of interesting, which is that Murderbot is obsessed with watching this very unrealistic sort of opera slash telenovela show, Sanctuary Moon, Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon. And of course, we're hoping that people are going to watch this show and be kind of willing to defend it, even if somebody else says it's terrible. Which everybody's telling Murderbot that this show he loves, that it loves, is terrible. I think that, scrolling on your phone all the time, being obsessed with social media, watching shows to the exclusion of reality gets a bad reputation. But there's something to it because you're not hurting anyone. You're not actively hurting anyone. The problem is when people take those things and go out into the world and act on them.
Yeah, I think there's a sort of an ongoing theme in the show about escapism and whether it's good or bad. And I think we come down on the side that it's actually quite good. Escapism has a bad name nowadays, and I think that fiction is a way of dealing with our current realities and sort of addressing our anxieties about them. This show kind of proposes that AI might not be either evil or an angelic rescue of humanity. It might just be as anxious and interested in having a good time as us.
That's a really interesting thing because the series begins with a really strong sense of humor, but that really leans into a more emotional complexity. Do you think humor is an open door to that complexity?
Yeah,
it's a gateway drug, as they say. Like you start with marijuana and you end up on heroin. I think that's true because humor implies some degree of emotional complexity because it's at a distance from something. It's only because you're looking at it from this perspective. And then the trick is humor can also be a defense mechanism, which was in a way what what everybody uses it for. So what is going to bring, because we need to have emotional connection. But your emotional connection doesn't have to be the same as my emotional connection. And Murderbot's emotional connection is utterly different from this incredibly empathic sort of hippie-like group of people that it's meant to protect. So the most emotional thing that Murderbot says in the book is, my clients are the best clients. That's its way of saying I love you. And that's a valid way of thinking, I think.
There's a really interesting technical thought that you break through the series, the shot reverse shot, with a more frontal angle. What were you aiming with that decision?
Oh, I think whenever we're doing that, we're probably just kind of trying to reset the perspective of how the audience is taking things in. So sometimes it'll be from a shot reverse shot to a direct angle, and sometimes it'll be what you would call crossing the line, so that a character, say, speaking from the left side of the screen is suddenly answered by a character also speaking from the left side of the screen. I think that those moments are often made, those decisions are often made in the moment, and just sort of what feels right emotionally. So I think it would be hard to, I guess, define in words. It's just a sort of a gut sense of what would wake up the moment.
An idiot savant is still a savant.